Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. Well, it is December, it is summer, and it is getting into the festive season. And today is the last school day at my school where I work. So the kids finish up today, and I will finish up next Friday. And I'm really looking forward to the end of the year. I'm really tired now. So, yeah, looking forward to a break. The first day of December was cold. I think there was even snow on some of the mountains, but we are now into quite a hot spell here. It is about 28, 29 degrees today and quite warm, although the breeze is nice and cool coming in here through the shed doors. So now that I've got everything open, it's pretty comfortable being over here in the shed. The sun is blaring down though. I drove my car over here so that I can start packing for my market, which I'll talk about in a minute. And the sheep started just bleating, blaring, barring at me. They want some attention, but they are not getting any attention right now because that sun has such a bite in it. So I'm going to wait until it calms down a little bit. What I've been doing is sort of coming over here about 5:30, 6 o'clock, even like later than that, up to about 7. It's a much nicer time to be out here. The sun isn't quite as harsh, and that I can give them some grain then. So they should settle down in a minute, but they're still making quite a bit of noise out there. This will be my last episode of the year. I am going to take a little bit of time away and then I will be back here at the farm. We've got some jobs to do. We've got some fencing to get done and some blackberry spraying as always to do. And as I've talked about these past few weeks, I've got some big plans for dyeing and market prep for next year. So into business things. So as this goes live, I will have been at a market yesterday. So it will be the All About Fibre and Yarn Christmas Market in Templestowe. I hope you had a great time if you were able to get along. That is my last market for the year, and I will be early in the new year, hopefully in a position where I can put up all of my planned markets for 2026. I've applied for quite a few. A couple I've heard back from already, so I can start to lock those in, and then the rest will start to set up a picture as we move forward. The last market for the year, I will have some of my current Christmas yarn. I will have some of the last couple of years on DK. I have, I don't know why I'm telling you this because it will have been and gone by the time you see this video, so you have no opportunity to get it. My Christmas yarn will not be up for sale on my website. I will only bring that out for markets. I might bring it out for a Christmas in July market, maybe. And then I need to start soon already planning for my 2026 colorway so that I can start to get that tested and in the dye pots as well. Lots to do as a hand dyer. Lots and lots of planning ahead. So I am going to be over the Christmas period and holidays working on some new colors, working on packaging colors together into series so that I have a bit more of a seasonal approach to my color schemes and to my dyeing, and trying to get quite a lot batched up and ready to go for markets throughout the year, so that over those cooler months when the drying of yarn is a bit more difficult, I've got a little bit of stock in stash that I can grab. I have ordered 2 new bases to try out, and I have also got another 5-ply that I had experimented with a little while ago, and I might do a little bit more on that to see if that's something that I would like to introduce to the shop. So the 2 bases that I have just ordered to have a bit of a play with is an 8-ply brushed merino. It is so fluffy and so beautiful. Let me see if I can show you the bare yarn. Oop. It's just exploding out of the, let me see. I get one skein to show you. So it's a brushed merino. So I'm really excited to see how this dyes up and what I might be able to do with that. And even if I don't bring it into the shop, I've bought enough so that I can make myself a jumper. Isn't that the benefit of being a hand dyer and getting things to try out and play with? So yeah, I will be able to report back to you early in the new year how I've gone with dyeing that one up. Now it's just exploded all over my lap. And the other one that I have is a 4 by 50% wool, 50% silk. It is so soft. Sorry for any noise here while I get out the skein of this one to show you. Look how shiny that is. So 50% merino, 50% silk. So I'm going to try that out as well. And I'm looking forward to having a little bit of fun with these two new bases, seeing how they will react to my existing colorways and my dye techniques. And hopefully they'll inspire me for some new colors as well, which I can then do across my entire base range. And that's kind of what I want to do a little bit more of. Have potentially less colors available at any one time, but have them on a few more bases for a few more different options of what you can potentially do with them. But I'm thinking that then I can have like a smaller range of colors on a few different bases and build up the stock in terms of having basically the same amount at each market, but having it focused across some different bases. See how we go with all of that. So that is my plan for my summer when it's not too hot over here in the shed. I'm certainly not going to be over here in the absolute blistering heat. There's no air conditioning here. Air conditioning is opening up the windows on either side and letting the breeze blow through. So, and we've had lots of rain lately, so we should be okay in terms of full tanks to be able to get some dyeing done. But part of my plan also is to develop some dye techniques for myself that use a lot less water than I've been using previously for some of my very older colorways when I was on town water. Whereas now being on tank water, I just need to be a little bit more mindful of that and ways that I can recycle and reuse water over multiple batches of yarn, but also just not use as much each time. So there's some interesting and exciting things coming up, I believe. Now onto my knitting for this week. Now, I don't have much to share this week for two reasons. One is that I started in on the test knit that I talked about last week, and it's been a little bit addictive. So I have been working mostly on that. And the other reason is that I was working on my love cardigan, which I will show you in a minute. But I'm now on the sleeves, and I realized that I don't have any short 3.25 millimeter tips for my chiagus. And I was going to try to just knit them like concurrently on two short needles, and I don't have the tips. I only have the long ones. So at the moment I've got them I'm doing them two at a time on one magic loop cable and having to slide them over the longer tips, and it's just a bit of a chore and taking quite too much time rather than just being able to go round and round. Because what I thought I would do is knit sort of one sleeve in the round to a particular point and then pick up the other one and do the same, and then add in the transition color, and so that I keep the decreases and everything kind of going at the same time, and then I don't finish one sleeve and still have a whole other sleeve to do. So what I have done is I've gotten in contact with Liz from Crystal Cat Stitchery, because she is a seller of Chiagu needles, and I have asked her to put those aside for me to pick up at the All About Fibre and Yarn Market. So hopefully once I have those tips with me, then I will be able to more quickly get going on those sleeves, because they'll be much more comfortable to knit. and it won't feel all bunched up. I'll be able to see the sleeves separately and really see the length in terms of where I'm wanting to do those color changes and easily be able to try on a sleeve as I go. So yeah, if you do need Xiaogu needles, definitely check out Liz from Crystal Cat Stitchery. She's got a very wide range of the needles. So I'm getting two different lengths, but the short ones, I think they're 3 inch, and I'm not entirely sure, but one's about that long, I think, and the other ones are about that long. And I'm thinking what I'll do is have one of each length on each cord. So then you have a short and a long on each one to create the correct circumference, so it's easy to move around without it being too small or being too big. So I picked up the sleeves, both sleeves, and I have done the first decrease on them as well. So last week I showed you, and I had finished binding off the body, and it wasn't on the needles at all. This is the Love cardigan, and the yarns are from Dizzy Devil Yarn, which is a hand dye from Tasmania, and the transition colours were hand dyed by Robin of the Unwind Craft Cafe. And I have picked up the sleeves and knit about 6 rows, I think, on each. But see, they're bunched up. Oh, let's see if I can, on one long circular at the moment, and I'm just finding it really awkward to deal with. I am pulling from both ends of the ball, so I don't have to worry about my yarn in terms of managing splitting and weighing balls. And I've wound all of the little mini skeins of the transition colors back into small little cakes so that I can pull those from both ends as well. And as I said, it'll be much easier if I'm able to knit on each of them separately, but on small circumference needles. Because I'm just finding, especially because you do end up tightening up that first and last stitch when you do magic loop, that having to force them back onto the needle tips is not as smooth as it should be. So I'm looking forward to getting those tips so that I can continue working on this. So I'm planning on going away for a short while over this holiday break, and then the rest of the time I'll be at home. So I'm planning on what I'm going to be taking away with me. I can't take too much. So I'm not sure if this will come with me because it's going to be quite warm where I'm going. So having this big thing on my lap may not be the way to go. So this might end up being a doing the air conditioning when I get home project. But I'm thinking that I will take the test knit that I'm doing because I need to get that done by the 31st of December. So even if it is a little warm, I'm going to have to push through on that one and get it done. And that's okay because I said I'm enjoying it quite a lot and I've made a reasonable amount of progress already. So even before going away, I should get a fair bit of that one done. Then I'm thinking I'll probably take at least yarn for one pair of socks, maybe two, because I can just throw those on the needles and they can kind of come with me wherever. And I think that I will grab that yarn, that silk yarn that I've been talking about the past few weeks. And I think that I will use the boat neck tank that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. I think I'm going to use that pattern and modify it slightly to have slightly wider straps, not too much wider, and just knit it until I run out of yarn. And hopefully it's long enough. I don't have any advents coming, or I'm not participating in any, and I don't particularly think that I have like a Christmas cast on planned. I think just some lovely, quiet, not too brain consuming knitting will be my prescription for myself for at least the first part of the holidays. And then maybe once I'm into late January, close to when it's time to go back to school, I might pull out some of those projects that have been sitting for a while that need a bit more brain power and focus. Because I remember last year, during these particular school holidays, um, the first little bit, I was just totally drained and just wanted to relax. But as it got closer to the time to go back to work, when it'd been on holiday for a number of weeks, it the brain needed a little bit more stimulation. So I'll have to find those projects that fill up that gap. And so between being over here and doing some work on passion flower and some more challenging knitting, I think I'll be able to scratch that itch in terms of keeping my brain active. Well, that's it for another week and for the year. And I hope you have a wonderful, safe, happy Christmas if you celebrate. And if you don't, just have a happy summer holiday or winter holiday if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the feedback and all of the chats that we have at markets. And until I'm back in 2026, take care and thanks for watching. Bye.